Hey guys, it's Aisha. Welcome back to my channel after such a very long time. Very, very long time. And I know I said last time that I would be back making videos, but that's kind of a lie, and I'm sorry. So sorry. I actually have been reading not quite a few books. It's been like 2 months and I've only read like 6 books, but that's okay because I have school and people will understand that I don't read a lot. So I am just going to tell you the books that I have read, that I am reading, and that I plan on reading. And I don't really know which books I plan on reading. I'm just going with the flow of what my mind picks. So just be aware that there's only like one book on my list that I know for sure that I'm reading next. So without further ado, let us get started. The first book that I read over my little long hiatus is This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, and I absolutely love this book. And the only reason I started reading it was because there was a lot of hype about it on booktube, so I just decided to read it because I was bored and it was in my school library, and then I picked it up and I could not put it down because it was so good. And I loved everything about her writing and her characters, and like how the characters are the main the main aspect of the book. And it's not just like plot based, it's like actually characters and like how the characters' minds work and everything like that. I love it. The next book that I've read, and I am so glad that I read it, and it is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. And I just now finished that. That was the last book that I finished, but because I'm going out of order and I don't care, but I'm so glad I read it. My English teacher and one of my really good friends recommended I read that book, so I was going to read the book that I'm currently reading right now before that, but I just decided to read it since they hyped me up about it. And I honestly am so glad that they hyped me up because I loved it so much. The main characters' names are Natasha and Daniel, and they're just so perfect for each other. And the book, it literally takes place in the span of one entire day plus the epilogue, and this is just a standalone, and I'm so happy with how it ended. And I really recommend that this book be read because it was fantastic, and I'm so glad. It's like one of my top favorites. Like, I'm so happy about that because it's like one of my top favorites, and I haven't read a book in a long time that has been part of my top favorites. So yeah. The next book that I read is Bad Romeo by Lisa Raven, and this was a reread for me, and I am starting to reread it again because it's like my favorite book. Not like my favorite book, but one of my favorite books, and I'm starting to read it again, but I take breaks all the time because this book is too much for me to handle. But yeah, I read it over my little hiatus, and I absolutely loved how it ended, of course, because it ended on a cliffhanger, and then it gets in on the second book, which is Broken Juliet. And I have yet to finish that one, but because I keep rereading this one, but I don't know when I will finish it, but I'll try. I will try. Okay, the next book that I read on my hiatus is Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake, and as you can see, there are a lot of notes. There aren't a lot of notes in all my other books that I read because I didn't really feel like taking notes while I read. I just wanted to enjoy it. So hopefully I can do book talks on books without having to take this many notes, because this is a lot of notes. And I really just want to mark down my most favorite parts, even though, like, as you can tell, a lot of parts are my favorite parts because I can't really decide. But anyways, yeah, this book was so good. I absolutely loved it, and I know there's a second book coming out, and I don't know if it came out yet. I'm not sure. I haven't been on like this whole like book blogging thing in a while. I just now started like getting on Goodreads again and everything, and then now obviously I'm making this video, but I don't know. I haven't like been seeing any new books because I have read Red Queen, but I haven't read The Glass Sword yet, and then I didn't even know that the third book came out, which is The King's Cage, and I'm so upset about that because that's like one of my favorite books and I didn't even know that a third book came out. Like I knew the second one came out and I haven't read it yet because I'm reading all these other books. And then I didn't even know that the third one came out, but I have to start getting reading on that. Anyways, Three Dark Crowns. This book was so good, and I will leave all the descriptions on Goodreads or whatever down below, and like you can see my rates and stuff if you follow me on Goodreads. But yeah, this book was really good, and I really want to get the second book, and I don't even know if it's out, but I'm gonna look it up. But if it is out, then I'm gonna buy it like right away when I get paid. But if it's not out, then I'm gonna have to wait a little bit, and I don't want to wait because I really do want to get on the second book because I want to see who wins, because this is like a competitive book between three twin queens, and it's amazing. And the last book that I read isn't really like a book that I think some people, maybe, I don't know, but I don't think most people will really lean forwards or towards for like entertainment reading or whatever. But I read this for school, and I really actually love this book, and it is The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne, and this is a really tiny edition, and it has my name on it and some notes and stuff in it because I did have to read it for school. But I really loved it, and it was just like, it was like really, there was a lot of opinions that could be directed towards the characters in this book and how you feel about the actual conflict in the entire book. And I really liked that because we did like class discussions, like really like big group discussions about it, and like our questions about it and everything, and what messages were in this book. And I just liked hearing everyone's opinions and thoughts and ideas on, and like foreshadowing and stuff, or like what they think is gonna happen next in the book. And I really loved it. So I honestly think I love all the books that we read in school, and then everyone else hates them, but I seem to love them because obviously I love reading. So the book that I am currently reading is such a good book so far, and it's really hyped about here on booktube, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. And this is just a paperback edition, but it's still pretty big. I'm only this far into it, which isn't that bad because I've only been reading it for like a week. But well, okay, I know it takes literally everyone like 2 days to read a book this big here on booktube, but I read slow, so that's why I barely post on here. But I just love reading even though I read slow, so don't be mad that there aren't a lot of videos on here. But anyways, yeah, so Six of Crows, it's so good so far, and I absolutely love the characters. Like, the characters are my favorite part, like, ever in this book, especially in this book. Like, this is like character driven. Like, each character like has a piece of them that connects to the main plot of this book, and I just really love it, and I can't wait to see where it goes, because right now they're like scheming and planning and everything, and I just want to see how, because I already know like every book like has those twists and turns, and so we already know the plan's gonna go wrong in some sort of way, so I really just want to get to that part and see it because it's gonna be so good. But yeah, so far 5 out of 5, like, hopefully my opinion doesn't change, but so far 5 out of 5, like, yeah. And the last book is the book that I am planning on reading right after I finish Six of Crows, and that book is This Is the End by, I don't know which author, but you'll see it on there, and I just want to read it because it was part of my school's book club, and I unfortunately couldn't like buy the book or get it in my school library because somebody else like already checked it out for the longest time, and I didn't have enough time to read it for book club. So yeah, but my friend actually did read it, and she absolutely loved it, and she said that I have to read the book, so I just told her I'd read it after the book I'm reading right now, and I don't want to break that promise, so I'm gonna read it. And it's about a school shooting, and I know it's gonna be touchy and graphic, and those are the kinds of books I love because I love all that graphic not goo gaga stuff, but I mean all that graphic, nasty, dirty, descriptive books. I just love all that because I don't really care. Like, I know some people hate like the graphic, like creepy books, or like they just don't like the really graphic, like sex scenes and in books and stuff like that. But I love all that stuff, all that jazz, every single little piece of it I love. So yeah. So anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I enjoyed making it because I like telling you a bunch of books that I've read, because I feel proud of myself just mashing it all together, even though I know it's not like a lot of books to be reading, especially for someone who loves freaking reading. But sorry, I'm a slow reader. So anyways, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and please recommend books to me down in the comments, because I need more books to read and buy, and read and borrow and buy and buy, because I love having my own copies. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and look in the description, because you can get cheap books for free shipping worldwide, and I will get a little commission for it. So bye guys, love you.